Welcome back to Cryptos Are Us. I am George. We're all George. So Bitcoin is looking much better today, above 41,000, and one big Bitcoin bear, Peter Schiff, now explains how Bitcoin can reach $10 million someday. This is out of one of the biggest Bitcoin bears' mouth. So what is he talking about? And is Bitcoin on its way up once again? Let's talk about all these things and more. Let's do it. Welcome, 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 guys. Take a look at the chart. Beautiful. We got a little bit of a pump today, up above 41,000, and things are looking green once again. No surprise, it was going to happen. We weren't going to stay low forever, right? But why is it happening now? Well, could it be that the selling is over from Grayscale? Well, let's take a look. So here's the latest right here. This was just posted minutes ago by James. By the way, this James, he follows me. I want to give him a shout out because he's been posting this every single day, and it's been really, really useful. But yeah, Grayscale, you could see yesterday they sold close to 400 million of Bitcoin, a little bit lower. But what's really shocking is just look at how much accumulation there is by BlackRock and Fidelity. BlackRock increased to 171 million yesterday, and Fidelity is still above 100 million. All right, keep in mind, this is super impressive because Bitcoin is actually down, right? Bitcoin is down, and yet their accumulation is, or actually from both of them, are increasing. Right? So now Grayscale is below 20 billion in terms of their holdings. BlackRock is nearly at 2 billion and Fidelity's 1.75 billion. And others, they're growing. There's not as fast. ARK and Bitwise, they both grew about 20 million. So they're above 500 million each, and others are growing as well. But net flow was still negative yesterday, minus 80 million. But it's looking like the outflow from Grayscale is slowing down. So we'll see. Today's Friday. We'll see when the numbers come out. It could be at minus 300, minus 200. And if the inflow from the others are still that great, well, you know what's going to happen. That means the buying pressure is going to start building up. Right now, this is the only thing that's really holding Bitcoin back. I mean, think about it. 400 million being dumped every single day so far for 10 days straight. That's a lot of selling pressure. But despite that, Bitcoin is still doing well and holding, and now starting to come back up a little bit. That's what we want to see. We are moving in the right direction. Now, a little bit more fear out of the U.S. government. I covered this last night. The Department of Justice planned on selling, I don't know, it was reported 130 million. Now it's 118 million, right? Basically, this sums it up. If they sell, it's peanuts. It's peanuts compared to what Grayscale is dumping every day right now. So it's going to be a nothing burger unless the Department of Justice really wanted to cause a disruption and sell on spot Coinbase or something on purpose. But still, I have a feeling that if they tried, Coinbase would stop them. Okay, so overall, right now, looking pretty good despite all the sell pressure. Despite all of that, we're still holding and we're still moving forward. Of course, this is the right move. Now, what about $10 million Bitcoin? Is that even possible someday? I mean, even like 5 cycles from now, is it, or 10 cycles or 20 cycles, is it possible for Bitcoin to ever reach $10 million? Well, let's hear it from the biggest bear there is, Peter Schiff. He tweeted this yesterday. It sounded almost like capitulation, like he was giving up on being a bear. No matter how low the price of Bitcoin falls, the proponents will always be able to claim and outperform gold. Because it's true. Because it's true. For example, even if Bitcoin falls to 100 in 2031 and gold rises to 10,000, they will claim that Bitcoin is up 100x in the last 20 years while gold is up 5x. Hey, that's true too. That's true too. But there's zero chance that Bitcoin's going to fall to 100 by 2031 and gold to 10,000 by 2030. Well, maybe gold could go to 10,000 by 2031. That's reasonable. But still, even if that happened, it's still true because Bitcoin started at like how many decimal points, right? And gold has been around for thousands of years, but within the last 20 years, Bitcoin will still be outperforming gold. See, but that's the truth, But someone of course was kind of trolling. What if Bitcoin goes to 10 million by 2031? Right? Well, then his final answer is the US dollar goes the way of German paper mark, then I suppose that's possible. He didn't shoot it down. He didn't say no. He didn't say, well, no, because I think Bitcoin's going to go to 0 by 2031. No, he actually came up with a way for Bitcoin to go to $10 million. That's actually pretty bullish, if you ask me. Peter Schiff has never been this bullish. To be fair, I haven't been following him all that much recently, but it sounds like he's capitulating. It sounds like he's giving up on trying to attack Bitcoin. His son is a big Bitcoin bull too, and he argues with him all the time about Bitcoin versus gold. I mean, it's fine to be holding gold if you want to preserve your wealth. You don't want a lot of volatility. You want to just store it. Gold, in my opinion, is like the stable coin of the I don't know, the real world, I guess, the non-crypto world. If you want to preserve your wealth, say equities are going down and you wanted to have a safe haven, you put it into gold because it just doesn't move. It's designed not to move, right? It's kind of like stable coins. If you want to take profits, you want to sell out of crypto, what do? You put it into stable coins. That's how I see gold. It's a stable coin for equities or for the real world. But if you want life-changing wealth, you want ridiculous amount of gains, well, that's Bitcoin and crypto. That's not gold. That's fact. That's fact. Anyways, so can Bitcoin reach 10 million? Well, yeah, if the dollar keeps on inflating and gets to nothing, then inflation is going to be rampant and we will see all assets go up to the moon, including Bitcoin. And, I showed this yesterday, but this is exactly what's going on right now. No, this is not gold's projected trajectory, although it could happen. This is federal interest payments, okay? This, for the first time in history, the U.S. will be paying $1 trillion in interest based on all the money that we have borrowed, all the bonds that we have ever issued. We have surpassed $1 trillion in interest payments alone. Even if we didn't accrue more interest and we didn't have to borrow more, which is impossible, we don't even make this much per year to offset this, right? So it's a never-ending cycle of borrowing more by issuing bonds and printing money, okay? And because of the two, and an interest will keep going up. It's a vicious cycle that'll keep on going. Of course, the U.S. government collects taxes, but there's only so many taxes you can collect, and it's not enough. So inflation will always be a thing. No matter what Powell does with his rate hikes, inflation will keep on going and arguably will only get worse. That's why if you look at assets like homes, for example, or crypto or anything else of worth of value, right? There might be dips along the way, but long term, they just keep on going upwards. It's mostly due to inflation. It's because inflation makes each individual dollar more worthless every year. And that's why you need to spend more of it to get an asset, an asset that's worth something, right? If you think about that, that's why assets keep going up, because of inflation. And because people want it, obviously, and supply, demand, and all that. But inflation just makes everything go up every single year. All right. Now, outside of, That there are many people that think, yeah, you know, first we got to hit some milestones first. How about hitting 1.5 million first before 10 million? Well, Kathy Wood already said this, and she has some fancy model that predicts by 2030, which is the next cycle. This cycle will end probably 2025, although who knows? We might enter a super cycle because of BlackRock and Fidelity and all these big boys and institutions FOMOing on spot Bitcoin and Bitcoin. Who knows? Maybe we don't even end. Our cycle doesn't end in 2025. Maybe we have a little dip in 2026 and then we just keep on going upwards, right? She's predicting by 2030, the most bearish case in 2030, I remember her projections, showed Bitcoin around 250,000. That's the most bearish prediction. Now, the mid-level prediction, a reasonable prediction, shows Bitcoin being at $650,000 by 2030. And the most bullish prediction is 1.5 million by 2030. Again, a lot of this could be due to inflation. It could happen. It could happen. Not could. It probably will by 2030. That's the next cycle. If you think about this cycle, if we hit 250,000 by this cycle, then you do a multiplier by 4, or 6, that's 1.6 million. Even if you didn't do that, you did a multiplier by, say, 3 from 2025, then the next cycle would be ending at like 2029. That would bring us to 600, 700,000 or 750,000. That's really within reason. That's actually conservative if you think about it. A 3x multiple from 2025 high to 2030, that's $750,000. That is really reasonable if you think about it. Anyways, so good days. Good days. Good to think about. It's coming. Arthur Hayes also thinks that million Bitcoin is certainly possible. Everyone's talking about it. Everyone's talking about million Bitcoin. Michael Saylor certainly thinks so. He thinks Bitcoin has no top. It's infinite. It'll go to 1 million, it'll go to 10 million, it'll go to wherever eventually. That's why he's loading up on everything. Every single Bitcoin, every single dollar that he has and MicroStrategy, they're all going to Bitcoin. He knows it's the future. And look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is doing well today. 41.3. Let's see if we could break back to 42,000. We were at 42,000 not too long ago. Just about a week ago. Let's see if we could break above 42,000 today. That would be very, very, very bullish. And then we utilize this as support and get back up above 45,000. Right? So outside of predictions, what about some other stuff? Well, Bitcoin's accumulation wallet. I don't know what this measures, but it just keeps on going up. I don't know if this is like long-term holders or above a certain year, but according to CryptoQuant's founder, it just keeps on going up, holding 1.7 million, valued around 68 billion, right? And this is true. If you measure Bitcoin holders, over 1 year, 3 year, 5 year, 7 year, 10 year, they're all at all-time high. It just keeps on exploding upwards. Okay. And as long as more and more people keep on buying and holding and never selling, the more the price will go up because Bitcoin has a set supply. Unlike gold, unlike oil, unlike any other precious metal or any other commodity or any equities or any bonds or I don't know what else there is. Every single other asset basically has infinite supply. You could always create more. But with Bitcoin, there isn't. All right, so lastly, let's look at a few other things. This is looking at Bitcoin compared, to before when we were still in the 20,000s. Who remembers Bitcoin struggling in the 20,000s? I don't. It feels like Bitcoin's been in 40s forever, right? But yeah, we were struggling to break above 20s for a long, long, long time, almost the entire year in 2023. We stayed sideways like for 10 months? Probably 8 months in 2023. No one remembers that anymore. But yeah, we broke out and then, we headed right back up to 49,000. So are we going to be breaking up soon It's quite possible. I mean, there's nothing stopping Bitcoin right now other than Grayscale. You know, Grayscale selling. Once they stop selling, there's no more sell pressure. We could be breaking up very, very quickly. Just like in October and November. Those of you guys that have lived through that, you know, Bitcoin broke up really fast. Like, it seemed like we're never going to move until we start moving really fast. It's probably going to be this time. I mean, this year is so bullish in so many ways, so many catalysts. But the biggest one has to be the halving event, right? Halving event is arguably the most bullish event for Bitcoin. There's nothing more bullish than the halving event, because if you just look at history, every time Bitcoin heads into a halving event, it starts recovering, which we have, just like previous cycles. And then what happens afterwards? You just start blowing up to the moon, right? And this one is indicating that Bitcoin will head to $300,000. So again, I don't know why anyone want to miss this. This is arguably the time to be in. If you were not in accumulating in 2022 and 2023, this will be the next time. Right? How does that saying go? The best time to invest was yesterday. The next best time is today. That's how it goes, right? I mean, really, this is the next best time. Even when we start going upwards, we hit 50, 60K. As long as we're below previous high, I would say it's still great to be DCAing. Now, afterwards, once we break above 100 and so forth, maybe a different story, but I still think this is a great time to be accumulating. And here's another look at our bear cycle, bull cycle, and then the super bull, the parabolic phase. We're not there yet. Okay, we're not even finished with this bull cycle. That bull cycle will carry on for a few more months until April or May, right? And then, you know, we'll see about the parabolic cycle. When will that start? Will it start immediately afterwards, or we may have to wait a few months after the halving event to start? In 2020, you know, leading into 2021, we had to wait a little bit. We had to wait like 3 months before the Super Bowl really hit. This time around, I don't think we have to wait. I think we're just going to start flying because there are many catalysts coming. All right. So that's Bitcoin, looking really good today. What else is there? Polygon. So Polygon, actually really good. Acquired almost as many users as Ethereum in 2023. This is an interesting chart. Looking at acquired users, again, I don't know how they measure. Maybe just by wallet, new wallet additions. I don't know how else you would measure it. But anyways, Ethereum led the way in 2023, 15.4 million. Polygon second, very close, 15.2 million. Then you have Bitcoin at 10.6 million, Solana at 5.6, Arbitrum at 7.4, and then Optimism, and then Avalanche, and then Base. You know, here's the interesting thing. If you add up Arbitrum, Optimism, and Base, because they're all layer 2s, right? If you add those up, that's already like another 10 plus million. And really, you have to add that to Ethereum because they're all layer 2s for Ethereum. So Ethereum is still leading by leaps and bounds. There's no doubt about it. And Polygon is, I forgot, Polygon's a layer 2 too. So really, this chart is showing Ethereum, Bitcoin, Solana, and Avalanche. That's really what it comes down to, right? But yeah, Ethereum's demise is greatly exaggerated. A lot of people think Ethereum is just going to go away and die out. It's not, but slowly over time, I do think a lot of chains is going to catch up and can surpass it if it can't fix a few things, right? Like scalability issues and gas fees and so forth. That's why layer 2s are so hot. Layer 2s are gaining a lot of momentum. What else is there? Polygon also, they have this partnership with Warner Music, and they're going to help incubate 2 projects that has to do with music. So they're getting involved with music as well. That's interesting. I totally forgot about this. Cardano smart contracts surged by nearly 10,000. So even though Cardano Doesn't seem like it ever moves. If you're measuring by GitHub activity, it's leading the way. It always leads the way. I don't know if that has to do with just how Haskell is, or just because everyone likes to like send their changes to GitHub nonstop. I don't know, but they always seem to be leading the way. So Cardano still looking good, I think, based on GitHub activity. All right, that is pretty much it. Let's do some Q&A. Alrighty. Let's see. Let me scroll up. Let me see if I missed anything. Hodl cock. Man, people love cock in you in the chat. P.S. Do you see ETH at 2,500 in coming weeks? It's not unreasonable. ETH was right up there. So Bitcoin climbs upwards. ETH first resistance is this 23.5. It was difficult for ETH to break and hold, right? They had a brief stint. I think ETH can get back up there. If Bitcoin breaks above 42 again and holds, there's no reason why ETH can't break back to like at least 2400, and then 2,500 is not too far off. We're in a super cycle already? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think we're in a super cycle. Otherwise, we would not have gone down as much as we did. Meeting up with cool team in Miami? No, I'm Miami'd out. P.S. about ETH again. Yeah, Miami is just crazy town. If you want to party, you want to get in trouble, you go to Miami. But yeah, I would never want to live there. Thoughts on GT Protocol? Never heard of it. 5 million in market cap on Huobi. By the way, guys, I did FOMO into a new meme last night. I FOMO into two memes. One is turning out to be really bad. One looks okay. You know, man, this just looks so scammy to me. It probably isn't a scam, but it looks very scammy to me. I'm sorry. I mean, it's like the only thing you see is buy everywhere. On top, buy bit, and then you buy more here. It's like nonstop buying. It's probably not a scam, but it looks very scammy. It looks very scammy. I can't get behind that. At least not right now. Can you, Jordan wants me to shout out to his girlfriend, Stacy. Hey, Stacy, and hey, Jordan. Meme coin exchange suggestions, please. Scotty, if you want to get into meme coins, you have to use DEXs like Uniswap or Radium or Trader Joe. You can't wait for them to go on exchanges. By then, it's too late. But if you wanted one that has a lot of memes, is MEXC. MEXC does have a lot, but usually by the time it gets listed, it's already very big. Brand, there's no other influencer saying that. You're just making that up. That's a ridiculous claim. What happens with BCH? It's going to go to zero eventually is what's going to happen. Oh, look at, we're getting good Bitcoin pump right now. 41.4. Maybe Grayscale stopped. Maybe Grayscale has no more to sell. All right, let's check. The one I FOMO'd into yesterday, guys, in case you're wondering, is Honk. Because someone asked about it yesterday, and I looked that up. I'm like, it's actually pretty funny, pretty playful. It's relatively big, so somewhat safe. So I aped into Honk yesterday. And I aped in another one that turned out to be really bad play. And that's number one here, Cat in the Hat. I have nothing. I have no idea. This is probably a really bad one, and it's going to dump to zero. But I got in like right around here, and then look at it, now it's dumping. See, that's the thing with memes, okay? They all start out great. Every single one starts out great. And you see this percentage. Oh, it's up 4,000%. And then it just dumps to zero. I'm pretty sure this one's going to dump to zero. So do not get into this one. This is going to dump probably to zero. And I'm going to lose some money in this. But, you know, that's the risk you take with memes. Cock is growing again. And then Kulo. Kulo's hanging steady. I would prefer to see some more momentum, but I know Moon Daddy's heading over to Miami and trying to get some excitement going for this. Did you ape into LimeWire as well? No, I don't like LimeWire. I don't. I never liked it. Have you heard of Pi Network? No. Everyone tells me that's a scam, so I've never looked into it, never got into it. I really think, you know, there's no better named meme coin than Cock Inu. I could just tell from the chat, right? Like, seriously, when the bull market really hits, I could see Cock like blowing up and getting huge. Yeah, it's just, you know, in terms of name, it just, there's none more clever than that. My $10 daily Bitcoin buy didn't fill. Cristiano, well, I don't know what to say about that. Does Pith have a future? Yeah, it does. It's the second biggest Oracle network. Has formed some good partnerships with some new chains. But you know, their transactional volume is way lower than Chainlink. So yeah, I think they have a shot. Will they ever overtake or come close to Chainlink? Probably not. Probably not. Is there a way to convert USD TRC to USD to TRC from a Treasure wallet without going to centralized exchange? Yeah, you go to like someone like Rubik's. I'm sure there's others, but like the one I used to use a lot is Rubik. They convert between a lot of different chains, so like all these chains, right? So if you go to like USDT for Ethereum, and then you go to, I'm sure they have Tron. Where's Tron in here? Maybe they don't. They have Tron USDT. Yeah, see, like that. And you could do it to any. You could do BSC USDT too. Rubik is actually really useful. It's just no one really cares about them, but they're really useful. They use other like bridges. They use like Stargate or Axelar or whatever, and that's how they're able to do this. But it's a gigantic, um, I guess a DEX. It's a DEX, but using pools from all these other projects. Scrappy logo. I like to see my cock rise, but I think Bonk is going to do the best because it's easiest for people who jumped into Sheeb and Doge last night to chain. That's right now, though. Coinbase keeps on listing more and more Solana memes. Like Whiff and Myro, they both will get listed. I have no doubt about it. And there'll be others that get listed too. Wait until Coinbase starts adding Avalanche tokens. Then they're going to add cock in you. So things will change. But I don't disagree with you. I think Bonk is going to do very well. I think Bonk will do very, very well. It's just that it's the first one to be added on Coinbase. Wait until the other ones get added. Then things will really change. So Bonk today is doing well, 11%. Whiff did really well the past day or so. And then Myro is up slightly today. But I think Myro and Whiff are going to get added. Casper, I'm bullish on a lot of memes. Do you think Bitcoin would dip below 38K in March? I don't think so. I don't know. It could always happen. We're not that far away from 38K. We hit 38K already. So people that were calling for 38K, well, we hit it. And they were right. But do I think it's going to happen again? I just don't think so. Grayscale is the only thing really holding us back right now. Maybe there's some other big event. Mt. Gox starts releasing all these Bitcoin and everyone's selling. I just don't see how everyone getting their Bitcoin back will start selling. So many people are going to be holding for the bull run. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I don't know. I just don't see it again. When you have NFT in your wallet and get an offer, is it safe to sell through the wallet app, even if you haven't offered it for sale? Well, you wouldn't get an offer unless, I don't know, if it's like on OpenSea and someone's making you an offer. I guess it's fine. I never sold NFT through my wallet though. It's always been, something that's already listed. So I don't know. I never had that before. I'm assuming so. If it's a wallet that supports your NFTs, but then how did someone find it though? You must have listed it somewhere. I don't know how that works. How do I get back on the Sol network? If it's in your Coinbase wallet, you could just transfer out. No, Coinbase wallet supports Solana-based tokens now. I don't think there's an ETH equivalent in Bonk. So I think you're good. Coinbase wallet supports ETH, ERC20 tokens, and Solana tokens. So I'm pretty sure the Bonk that you have in your Coinbase wallet is Sol-based, and you should be able to transfer out to your Phantom wallet or any wallet that you're using. Man, I should have opened a 20x or 25x leverage on Bitcoin today. I was thinking about last night. I'm like, man, I want to throw some leverage out on there. I think today's going to be good. But, I've been wrong recently. There's been so much volatility recently. I was second guessing myself. I'm like, whatever. I went to bed, didn't open anything. Would have made a good amount today. The entire collection was show, according to Power Friend. Your NFT would just be unlisted. People can still make bids on it. Okay, good to know. Why can't I transfer Tether from Coinbase to KuCoin? It keeps telling me something isn't right, and to try again later. I don't know. Maybe Coinbase is having problems. What are your thoughts on Axelar? Well, I just got done talking about like someone like Rubik. You know, Axelar and others makes it possible for swaps to happen between chains. So it's very useful. It's very useful indeed. But as a play, just not for me. It's just one of those things where it's really useful. And I don't even know if you need Axelar tokens to be able to make those swaps. Probably not. So it's a fine project. I just think it's not for me. I just rather buy L1s, L2s, Bitcoin, or memes. Did you hear about the massive gold cache found in Israel? No, did not. Maybe it's Peter Schiff's stash. $10 million, according to Peter Schiff. Christopher, new member, welcome. When do you think Grayscale will stop selling? I mean, it has to be soon, right? They're dumping 400. Okay, and let's just keep this in perspective. First of all, it's not Grayscale themselves that are choosing to do this. It's the people that hold a lot of GBDC, and they used to hold shares of Grayscale in their trust. That's why they're selling now, because they can. But there is some question of whether or not DCG themselves are selling too. Now that's a different story. If it turns out that DCG is selling Grayscale, selling GBDC because they need the money, you know, they're gonna get a lot of backlash later on, no doubt about it. But at some point, these other guys that are trying to cash out, they're gonna realize, okay, I had enough. I don't need to cash out. Some of them cash out because they wanted to buy into other ETFs because they're cheaper. But the ones that are selling out, I mean, you know, they just decided to sell out. But eventually that's going to dry up. But baby. That'll say it. Mubi. Mubi's fine. I think you're a little too enthusiastic over it. What are they doing now? Yeah, relatively low, multi-bit. Bitcoin stuff is interesting. There's a lot of Bitcoin stuff coming out. I'm getting pitched Bitcoin, you know, dApps, wallets and stuff all the time. So there's a lot coming out. I don't know. Most people, I think, still thinks that all the DeFi and the BRC20 stuff is still a little like almost taboo. Like most people are still staying away from it. But if this really continues forward, it's going to be a change. It's just like a whole brand new ecosystem we got to focus on. Yeah, they're a bridge, and you can see on the bottom they support ETH and Bitcoin's the most important, and now they're supporting Polygon and BSC. How much cock is enough? I don't know. I have no idea. You guys love cock way too much. Man, I'm holding out a lot of memes these days because I'm just being a real big degen right now. I'm holding a lot of memes. I normally never do. Rob. Oh, I gotta stop reading these comments about cock. Which new set of Lego did I buy recently? I bought the museum. That's the newest modular set. Every year I look forward to a new modular set, and somehow this year I missed what came out. And I was searching for it, and I say, oh, it's the museum. It's very different than all the other buildings before, because they're always like, you know, like a 12 by 12 plate. This time around, it's more of like a 16 by 12 plate. I don't know if I said that right. Yeah, it's about like in terms of inches. So it's a little bit different. It's a museum, but it's meant to be this year's modular building, which it doesn't really fit into. If you guys see my Lego City, it looks really awesome. I don't know if I could fit that in there. That's what she said. Um, so this Sunday walk, I'll show off my Lego room a little bit because a lot of people have been asking. Kimball's still looking good to you. I mean, it looks fine. Um, you know, as far as meme goes, it's coming up, but it's not back to its previous high. It has a good recovery today, but still, it's way off from its previous high before. Needs a little more momentum. Avalanche needs to get hotter. That's the problem. Avalanche needs to get hotter again. Then someone like Kimball and Cock could really grow. Did you ever do a new house tour when it's completed? Did I miss it? No, I just did not do it. I just think for my own safety reasons, I don't want to show off the house too much. But it's a beautiful house, if I had to say so myself. It's just god awful expensive because of all the overages and everything. But yeah, my family and I are really enjoying it. We've gotten used to it. Can you review the Nissan Kicks? I have. On my driver's only channel, I reviewed it multiple times. Kicks is fine, except it doesn't have all-wheel drive. If it had all-wheel drive, it would be a really cheap subcompact SUV. That would be pretty great. I mean, overall, it's not bad. I think it's just missing that all-wheel drive factor. But if you're looking for like you get fully loaded kicks for 25,000. If you get like a decently well equipped one, it's like 23,000. It's actually a really good bargain. But I don't know if I trust Nissan all that much though. You know, that's the thing. And that one does have a CVT transmission. Although it drives really well, it does have a CVT transmission. Does that post near still annoy you? No, I never think about it. It's really not annoying in real life. I think I made too big of a deal. But when you're walking through a house, it's like the space is so enormous you don't even notice it. Not one person has commented on it. Only people that comment on it are people that seen my videos and they ask me about it. But other than that, no one else seems to have a problem. Um, what do you think about Bork? I don't know about Bork. It doesn't look that good. Yeah, it certainly doesn't look good at all. Um, Although a lot of memes look like this after a while, but still, it doesn't look like it has a whole lot of momentum. I'm hoping Honk would do well. It still seems to have just a never-ending upward trend. It could break down from here, so I don't know. The other one that I bought, Cat in a Hat, like really dumped down. It's going to dump to 0. But I'm hoping that Honk would do well. Kimball's holding, coming up a little bit. Kulo's holding. I mean, I'm into so many memes now. I'm trying to show a good one here. What do you think about Filecoin? So-so. So-so. Abe Perez, I full in a bit at 49K. I regret it. Don't know what to do. What's your advice? Nothing. Just hold on and wait. You can't ever time top or bottom, right? And if you're thinking about selling now, what's going to end up happening is Bitcoin's going to go back to 49K and then you go rebuy back in 49K. Because then you're going to have major regrets that you sold. So the best way to do it is you either hodl and just wait until it comes back, or you dollar cost average. And you put a little money in now and bring your cost average down, right? You could bring it down to 45,000 or 46, 47. So by the time we get back to 49, you're in the green again. That's the way to do it. You should rename your channel to Memes or Us. Maybe a new channel. Maybe a new channel. No, I'm probably, if I'm gonna do anything with memes, probably it'll go on Cryptos R Us Plus. That would probably be the best. J. Rue, I did not like Cardano. No, not one bit. Have I driven a Rivian before? I drove this like Rivian Apocalypse car while in Miami. There's this group that, you know, they work on Jeeps. They make 6x6 Jeeps, and they made one for Rivian, although it wasn't 6x6. But they put this massive armor on there. It looks like the truck from Halo, and I was driving that around. It's actually pretty cool, but I haven't driven a regular one yet. I canceled my reservation. I just don't think they're going to do well in the future. Are you aware of SAVM scam that was promoted by my financial friend? Is that Satoshi VM? I know Sam. I didn't know if he was promoting it or not, but I know that I was asked about it during live chat like this, and people are like, "Oh, have you heard of this promoted by this person, this person, this person?" And I clearly called it out. I'm like, those guys are all paid to do it. Just be careful. And then like some people got mad. It's like, "Oh, Satoshi VM is a legit project," and recently it's just been dumping like crazy. I guess there's some vulnerability with smart contracts or something like that. You just got to be careful, Not to say that all projects are scammy when some influencers talk about it or are promoting it. But when everyone's talking about something, that's when maybe I shouldn't get into this. But I don't even know what Satoshi VM is. I never liked it just because of the name. Just to have Satoshi in there, I never liked it for that reason alone. Did you see the countdown on Multiverse X? CEO on X? No, I did not. I did not. I have a video about Coinbase locking half BTC and did not allow me to transfer to Ledger. Check it out, it'll be an honor. What? Probably because your account is too new or something. They have security features like that. I know it kind of sucks. That's why, you know, sometimes sexes have their limitations, but they probably did it to protect you because it was a new account and they thought maybe someone was hijacking it or something like that. If I had to guess, it's due to that. I've never heard anyone else saying that they can't withdraw their crypto off of Coinbase. What do you think about Sui? They're a newcomer into space. I don't like the name. I really don't like the name. I don't like all these new names that are like Japanese based. If I had to guess, Sui is based on a Japanese name. I don't know. But, you know, they're out of the U.S. They could do well. A lot of these new ones, you know, they all could do well. I mean, everything pumps. So it's hard to, like, judge them sometimes. Because if you look at, even though they're, like, multi-billion, you know, if you look at their activity is really low. There's not actually anything going on, right? It's on my channel, Building Financial Freedom. Well, congratulations on your new channel. I'm confident that VeChain will hit 65 cents this bull run. Let's see if I agree with you. Probably. Where's VeChain? 65 cents. That's like 30x. I don't know if I agree with you. Can I do 30x? Outside of like 15, 20x, it gets really tough. But 30x, if VeChain really catches on and they do some amazing things, and I'd like to help them do some amazing things. If they can, then sure. But, you know, I don't know. 30x is a lot. Today, everything's doing well. A lot of greens. A lot of greens. Everywhere. Let's see. If Grayscale stops selling, you know, we're in a really good shape. Or whoever's selling GBDC. Let's put it that way, okay? If that negative 394 today turns out to be like negative 200 or negative 100, and we have more inflows and outflows, then it's going to look really good next week. I don't know. You know, there's only so much that people can sell. Midas has potential. I think Midas makes a name for itself because of Vitalik's mom working at Midas. Not only working there, I think she's the leader of it. I think that in itself brought them to where it is. Rocky in talks with Mexi. You know, it's not tough to get listed on Mexi. You just need 60K. All these exchanges outside of Binance and Coinbase, those are the only ones that you can't really pay to get in. You have to talk with them and really convince them to do so. Outside of them, everyone else, you just pay a certain amount to get listed. Well, OKX also. OKX and Bybit, I think they're both a little bit harder now. But like MEXC, for example, you give them 60K, 30K in USDT, 30K of your tokens, they will list you. And guess what's going to happen? That 30K worth of tokens that you're giving them, they will dump immediately. that's what always happens. That's why a lot of coins, when they get listed on MXC, they dump, because that's what MXC does. That's how they take their profits. So really, they're, you know, making 60K off a listing. That's how it works. It's not like it's hard to get listed in MXC or any of the other foreign exchanges. You just have to pay to get on. Most of them are asking for 30, 40, 50, 60K. But, you know, listing on MXC or any of the sexes seems like it's a really good idea at times. At other times, it's not, because all they do is just dump your tokens. New to crypto, Matthew's asking, why would a coin change their name when so new? I don't know. It's a bad look. That means they didn't think about it something well, or they're trying to pull something. Hey, George, I have a lot of Sol and AVAX. What should I buy next? Some cock? Get some cock in you? I'm just kidding. I don't know. Bitcoin. It sounds like you have no Bitcoin. You should get some Bitcoin. All right, guys. Let's end it on a high note. Today, overall, it's a good day. Really good day. It's a green day. A slight bump upwards. Bitcoin's above 41. Grayscale's selling has slowed down. We'll see where it goes today. Peter Schiff gave us some hope that Bitcoin could go to $1 million, $10 million someday. And you know what? It's probably will come true, because the US dollar keeps on inflating away and it's never going to stop. So hold on, guys. Stay strong, stay focused, focus on the future, and we'll get through this together. All right, so today's Friday, so happy Friday. I'm not going to be streaming tonight. I will be streaming tomorrow, a little bit later, 10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time, and we'll have my Sunday walk video on Sunday, which I'll remind you guys tomorrow, and that's it. Happy Friday, and have a good one. Bye-bye.